Hey guys, today we're going to have a little contest of who does it better, top 5 go-to food items that you'll find at every family get-together or potluck. Indiana versus Oklahoma. Ashley's lived in Indiana her whole life. I spent 20 years in Oklahoma, and for all intents and purposes, I call that home. Go Sooners. So Ashley's going to start us off with her first Indiana staple.
So my number one is smoked sausage and green beans. My mom and my grandma, everybody just did it. We just slice up some smoked sausage in the skillet, green beans. That's it. You're good. Sometimes we put potatoes.
I never had that until I met Ashley, but I will say it's pretty good. And I have added it to my list of things that I cook for the kids quickly. So my number one is, being from Oklahoma and the Indian Territory, I'm going to start it off with a nod to the Indians, fry bread. If you've never had fry bread, Google it. There's lots of recipes for it, but it's amazing. It goes with anything and everything. And the Indians would use it as the base for a taco. And Indian tacos are just the bomb diggity too.
Yeah.
So,
and I had never had that until I met you. So
yeah,
it's pretty good.
And a friend of mine taught me how to cheat on it. And you just take store-bought biscuits, let it set out on the counter for a couple hours so the dough gets nice and warm. Open that up. You can stretch it out, fry it in a skillet, kind of like you would a donut. And yeah, it's the best.
Everything fried is better, right?
Everything fried is better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So number 2, and this is a hot topic of debate in our household, is chili with pasta. We make our chili soupy. We add noodles, usually macaroni. But, when I was a kid and I would go to my friend's house and like their mom or their grandma would make it, sometimes they would even add spaghetti too.
Yeah.
And like noodles and spaghetti. Yeah. And it'd be a lot of noodles.
Noodles. So. Yeah. That's how my mom makes it. But in Oklahoma, we made chili, and it was more of a stew than a soup. And there was no noodles. It was just meat and beans and sauce. And it was amazing. And when you put your cheese and onions on there, like, you didn't have to hunt through a gallon of liquid to find them. And another Oklahoma thing is chili just makes it better. If you didn't like what was for dinner, throw some chili on it. Oh, you burned a burger? Put some chili on it. Ooh, store brand hot dogs, chili. You can put chili on anything. It's like gravy. Yeah. It just makes it better. But you can't do that when there's noodles. Because like if you put a bowl of soupy, spaghetti-filled chili on top of a hot dog, I mean, who would do that?
It's not, no.
Who would do that?
It's not meant for that. It's not meant for that. It's made more like a soup, and that's how we eat it too.
Yeah. My mom calls it soup chili.
Yeah. All right, so number 3, mine was salad that's not really a salad. So anywhere in the Midwest, you probably know what I'm talking about. It involves like fruit, marshmallows, some whipped cream kind of stuff. My family makes like a grape salad. It's like grapes, walnuts, sugar, and like some cream cheese and whipped cream. Or like a Waldorf salad or ambrosia salad, things like that. You see them, like, if you go to potluck, there's one there at least. And it's called salad, but really it's not salad. Yeah. Still tastes good though. Very, very tasty.
Yeah. So my number 3 is the party sub. Everywhere you went, there was a party sub. And people would cut it up about 2 fingers wide, just little strips, and everywhere. Church dinners, family get-togethers, Super Bowl parties, everywhere you went,
Party sub, huh?
If it was really fancy, you would get the pre-made one from Subway. Do they still do that?
Yeah, I think they do. Yeah,
that super long one. We had one that was like 20 feet long one time at a party, and we had to put all of our folding tables together just to set this thing on it. And it was fancy because those were cut about 3 inches. So fancy. You got quite a bit.
Yeah. All right, number 4, I put tenderloin. It's not my favorite food for sure, but it is a big deal. Every year at the fair, most everybody goes down there to get a tenderloin. The restaurants around here, like it's usually like pizza size. Like the ratio has to be like 10-1. Like the bun is, the tenderloin has to be 10 times the size of the bun at least. That's like the rule.
That's the rule. Oddly enough, since I've been back to Indiana, I still have not had this tenderloin that she speaks of.
Yeah.
I've got to do that. No. My number 4 is variations of tacos. A real common thing in Oklahoma is bowl tacos, where you just use tortilla chips in a bowl to build your taco. And I already mentioned the Indian tacos, which is kind of the same concept, but they used fry bread. And their meat sauce is very different than like a traditional Mexican taco, but still good stuff. Walking tacos, where you just use the Frito bag and build your taco in the bag. But there was just variations of tacos. That was a super common thing, either at a party, a get together, or youth groups doing it as fundraisers.
Yeah, I get down with that.
Yeah.
There's no disappointing way to do a taco.
There's not. There's not.
So number 5, and this is the stereotypical one for Indiana, but I pick sweet corn because it's a pretty serious matter around here. We like our sweet corn and, corn on the cob and stuff. Typically people expect that it's going to be real sweet and tender, delicious, very popular at the farmer's market and everything. So what's that? That commercial where you say there's more than corn in Indiana.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is, but also the corn is here.
So my number 5 is barbecue. The part of Oklahoma I lived in, like people's meat smoking preferences was, that was a hot topic of debate. In the town I lived in, there was a barbecue company called Head Country Barbecue Sauce. It's available at retailers across the nation. It's good stuff. Try it out. But I was never into meat smoking myself, but that was like one of the best things about get-togethers, or, I go camping with my brother's camping groups, and him and his buddies were like having serious meat smoking competitions. And that's great if you're not the guy that smokes, because you don't get to do any of the work. But every night of the camp out, somebody is feeding you some really amazing dinner.
Yeah, just taste test. Yeah.
But it was also a good way to start a fight, because you could just like pour some sauce on something. Oops. So, yeah. Barbecue.
All right. So, bonus. Do you call it pop or soda?
Well, I call it soda. I've done that since I started driving truck a long time ago, because when you travel across the country, soda was the one thing people could figure out what you meant. So that's how, I don't really know. Like,
well, I do think around here you hear it every which way.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of like that in Oklahoma too.
Yeah, I do normally call it pop though. It's like you go buy a Polar Pop. It's not soda, it's pop, but
my girls say pop.
When you say pop, it's most people know what you're talking about.
Yeah. The one I've never used is Coke.
Coke, yeah. I have heard people say that, and they're referring to every pop, not just Coca-Cola. That's kind of confusing.
Yeah, I think that's mostly like in the South or something, but yeah, if you go to Michigan and you say, give me a Coke, you're getting a Coke.
You're getting Coca-Cola.
Right. You're not getting a Pepsi.
Yeah.
You're not getting a Dr. Pepper. You're getting a Coke.
Right.
And I don't want a Coke.
Yeah.
I want a Diet Coke.
Yeah.
And if I'm looking for the fountain machine, to get a soda in a gas station or a truck stop, I just be like, where's the sodas? And they would point that direction. They could figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really know like what they call it in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I think my daughters call it pop. They're still there.
All right. So let us know in the comments below what do you call it? Do you call it pop or soda, or dare I say, do you call it Coke?
Yeah.
Let us know.
And before the hate mail comes, I will say I've not lived in Oklahoma for several years, and I'm sure I've forgotten, or maybe just was never exposed to some of the mainstays in the Oklahoma culinary arsenal. So, share what your go-to thing is, but please Don't be hating. Because I'm old and I have a bad memory.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.